Well, I decided to make a 1/2 scale replica of the Buick. Just kidding, it's the oil pan. This is nice. Look at that. Yum, yum. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't get this fired up, because it would have sucked up all this goo into the motor. So another good reason that I'm rebuilding it. It's a shame. But anyway, I got a whole new gasket set that came in the mail the other day, along with all the new rings. I went ahead and pushed out piston number 4, and just to check the bore and see what was going on with the rings. So let me show you that. Alright, so here's all the rings and bits. Basically when I pushed it out, the top ring did end up being broke in half. The second compression ring was stuck. The oil rings, both of them were also stuck. So I need to clean all these up. And then there's this tiny little groove here. I don't know exactly what that's for. At the very top of the piston. I need to get that cleaned up. But they appear to be stock bore. They are the 4-ring pistons, 2 compression, 2 oil, which I did get those in the mail also. I had to order through, I think, part suppliers. What I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and finish unbolting the rest of the pistons, push them up through. There's really no ring at all at the top, thank goodness. Nothing's catching the fingernail. I measured bore at the top. It's almost spot on down inside. If it's egg-shaped, I couldn't tell you right now. Until I put the rings in there, I'll have to figure that out. But I'm going to go ahead and push the rest of the pistons out. And then I need to find a hone. I wanted to go with a dingle ball hone, and those little suckers are expensive also, and nobody really carries them, so I'm trying to look online, see what I can find. But anyway, that's the update for now. I'm going to clean out the sludge, get the pan cleaned up and ready to go, and press on from there. Well, we've owned this Buick for about 1.5 years, and had the motor torn apart for going on a year. You know, it's really time to get to work on this thing and get it back together, so no time like the present. Let's start doing what needs to be done. It's the greasy, inevitable truth. Got to start turning wrenches. Alright, well, it's been a long time coming, but first 2 pistons are dropped in, number 3 and number 6. Kind of a learning process. I've never done this before, but assembly lube and a ring compressor, and they're coming along nice. So got them dropped in, and got to go underneath, torque the caps on, and move on to the next 2. Wish me luck. Okay, here we go. Number 8 going in, last one. Make sure that all my rings are set 180 degrees from each other as far as the gaps. Let's see. That one's pretty much lined up. That one. There you go. And some assembly lube. Kind of start by patting it around there. I don't want to get the gap off. I'll kind of get it spread, and then I grab the top 3 and spin all of them together. Because once the lube is on there, it's kind of hard to see your gaps. So there we go. That one. That guy and that guy. Alright. A little bit on the skirt. And my bearing surface, of course. Okay. Then the ring compressor goes on. should be it. I think I already got, should I get some lube on the caps? So I still got the number 1 cap here because I'll put, basically doing 2 pistons at once, since I have 2 at bottom dead center. And we'll hammer in. Okay, don't fall down now. Alright, well, this one's causing trouble, of course. Alright, there it goes. It sucked the edge of the ring compressor down in the cylinder with it. Okay, go underneath to check sure, make sure everything lines up. Okay, as long as I got 2 bolts coming down on each side of the crank, it's good. There it is, nice and solid. Last one done. There it is. New head gasket. All right. Okay. Head's back from the machine shop. It's good to go. Comes down to it. Time to lift it on. Anybody out there want to help me? This thing weighs a ton. There it is. The head is back on the motor. Took a little creativity. I literally had to stand in here, 1 foot on the frame rail, 1 foot on the battery tray, and then have a buddy who's strong enough to swing it in there for me. We had dropped a couple bolts in, so as I set it down, got those started in the holes, and she dropped right on. Every single bolt spun in by hand. So I think that's a very good win. Can't wait. This is awesome. Just going to go for torque on these now, and then it'll be simple reassembly that I can do. I'm looking forward to getting her put back together. Man, I stuck these push rods in this box over a year ago. As you can see, I separated them by cylinder number. Now they're all back in there, lubed up, ready to put the rockers on. Man, it's going back together pretty quick. I love it. And this can go in the trash. Just set the rockers on there, and yes, it is a crusty mess. There's a lot of sludge buildup on it, but there's a lot of sludge kind of in the bottom end also. I knocked off the bulk of what I could get to. I think it'll clean up obviously within the first couple 100 miles, and I'll change the oil pretty quick after I get it running, and then I'll probably run a little bit of transmission fluid or something through it just to make sure I get the bulk of the crud out of there. So I think whoever had this last didn't really change oil in it too often. So, but we'll remedy that. Change oil in it regularly. Maybe also incorporate a actual filter at some point. But for now, the crusty rockers are going in. I'll get those bolted in, torqued down, and they'll be one step closer. Well, you know, I took the time to clean the bolts up, but I didn't clean up the rockers, so whatever. Had to replace a couple of the lock washers on the stud there and on the one at the other end. It's nice that they put alignment studs on the rocker assembly. but they didn't put them on there for the head, so that's kind of weird. I think the head would be slightly more important. Oh well. There it is, all torqued down. 35 foot-pounds, of course. So, let's see. What's next? I guess these should be all good. Check the lashing later on after I rotate it over a couple times. Yep, nothing seems to be loose. Push rod covers, I suppose. Yeah, I could probably do that next. Over here trying to get the exhaust manifold ready to go. As you can see, that one snapped off, even with heat and penetrating oil and everything. And then the second one, which was in worse shape, actually started threading out, but nope, it broke off down in there. So I get to drill and tap both of them. Yay. There it is. Well, this stupid heat riser on the exhaust manifold has been causing me nothing but problems. The baffle is still locked up, it won't spin. Basically, when I first started this project, this was wide open, allowing the heat to go up into the and basically warm up the intake manifold at all times, even when it was warm. So basically how this works is, as the engine warms up, this closes to direct the exhaust through here and out the bottom into the exhaust pipe. When the engine's cold, it's open, allowing warm air to come in here and go up against the intake manifold to warm that up and keep the fuel atomized. Well, being that I'm in Florida, I don't really need warm air going against my manifold. Even if it is cold, it should still work fine until it warms up, which shouldn't be very long. So basically, with this being locked up, I'm just going to permanently bend the tabs so it always directs the hot air in and out through the exhaust. So it's not going to be warming my intake manifold at all until I can get that replaced or whatever, but for now it should run just fine as is. And then I broke that tab off too. So this is JB welded on. Hopefully it holds, at least for the initial startup and cruise, if it breaks off or whatever. Okay, manifolds are all bolted together. Time to go in. Yeah, not as heavy as the head, but almost. You know what would have been awesome? If I would have grabbed some of the nuts to go on here. Okay, well, those bolts should hold it. Cool. Well, it's getting time to get the mail, apparently. Getting time to roll this thing over with the starter, and I didn't exactly take pictures of this when I when I took it apart, and I think I'm on my second phone since then anyway, or third, I don't know. But judging by the looks of it, because this wire's been in the same position for, you know, upwards of 80 years, it looks like that screw right there on the carburetor was loose. So I'm thinking that's where that goes, and then these two go right here on each side of this little switch block. So I'm going to install those. Hopefully that's what makes it crank over. Okay. Not that this one really matters, but these guys do. Let me turn my light on. There we go. Because if you didn't know already, The starter on this activates when you mash on the gas pedal. So it's part of the throttle assembly. There we go. Got the battery hooked up. Nothing's sparking so far. I disconnected the coil, so there's no spark going through the spark plug wires, which are laying out because the spark plugs are all out. I want it to spin over with no restrictions and just kind of see how it sounds. So here we go. All right. So we can, which one is it? Okay, it's key on. Lock off. And then hit the gas pedal. She's cranking over. Real slow, but she's cranking over. This is the first time this thing's cranked over in a year. All right, let's unlock that. Key off. Okay, here we go. All the spark plugs are in. We're going to attempt to make compression now. So, try it again. Key on, that down, and yeah, she's cranking over. This is just run on assembly lube, and I did dribble some oil down on everything, so it's got a little bit of both going, but all right, oil pan on, and let's see if she'll actually do something. Getting the oil pan put back on. This is a big heavy sucker, and yeah, what a pain in the butt. It would definitely be easier if I could flip the motor over upside down and bolt this thing on, but really honestly they're not too bad, except for these ones right up here in the front, which are underneath the front piece of frame here, so that sucks. But the rest of them aren't too bad. I'm gonna move that exhaust pipe over. Anyway, there's about 400 of them, so I'm gonna get started. Fired up for the first time, going with the Rotella 1540. Get the good stuff in there. Okay, and got a little old gas here. It's probably way too much. Spit back through the carb. By timing. Still nothing. Timing's still off. Well, I put number 1 at top dead center and then aimed the rotor at it, so I now have to figure out something. Alright. Well, what I thought was a timing issue, because it was popping back up through the carburetor, I think turns out to actually be a valve lash issue. Now I did have the head decked slightly, so that does reduce my clearance, and I think my valves are a little on the snug side. I almost forgot to install my oil tube there for my rocker shaft, so I'm glad I saw that and remembered to put that back on. So these, from what I can read, are supposed to be about 17 thousandths, and let's see, okay, so this one, this intake is on the So it's on the intake stroke, so this exhaust should be all the way at the top, and it is not even close. It's way tight, and I found that on every single one except for this one. No, there's one over here that's super loose, and I forgot which that one that is. Oh, there it is. See, and that one is way over. It's way sloppy on 17, so that one's probably closer to like 20 thousandths or so. But so I'm gonna go through, run the engine through its cycle, and set the valve lash. Hopefully that'll take care of my little backfire problem. It's already rolling.
Oh.
Chase, ready? Okay, let's see if she'll light off. Choke needs to be open, but it does. Watch yourself. All right, see that? Yep. Yeah, that's. No, it's still not right. I wonder. Okay, we're going to try this again, hopefully with a little more luck, because, let's see, we got, hopefully the right firing order this time. So wherever it was before, I guess was off, so I wired it according to the piece of tape on one wire that was labeled number 8. Here we go. Cranking over a little harder like it's wanting to fire. It's not popping back through the carburetor, that's a good thing. Okay, put a little more retard into the timing there. Looks like my battery's getting low. Okay, we're going to try this one more time before I gotta go to work. Timing adjustment, maybe? Nothing. Doggone. Still nothing. Oh my gosh, it's so close. Let's go a little more. Alright, I'm going to get a little more gas together. You know, I have a sneaking suspicion that that gas I'm pouring out of my gas can is not good gas. I don't know where the heck that came from, but that's nasty. Look at that water in the bottom. Crying out loud. Okay. Gotta regroup, get better gas. Okay, this is looking much better. Okay. I kind of wish I knew where the timing was, but... See, somebody's showing off. They got their car running. I'm going to try with the choke closed. Or a little less timing. Definitely likes more timing. A little more fuel. Oh my god. Oh. Holy cow, that's like the closest it's ever been to running. So close. How'd you like them flames? Now, if I get a fire, I'm in trouble. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh. So close. The battery's got a little more juice in it. Let's see if she'll light off. You try a little more timing, a little more juice. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get her to light off tonight. It's really close. Looks like it's leaking gas down around the base. Acorns. Well, here we are the next day. Got the battery charged up. I put an extra gasket on the carburetor. Try and fix where it's been leaking kind of around the base. Threw a little more timing into it. We're going to see if today she wants to start. Helps if I hook the battery up. Okay, well, my new spark plug wires were supposed to arrive today, but they haven't. So I have 6 spark plug wires from the 95 LeSabre and 2 wires that I stole off the Le Mans. So basically, we're kind of making it work. The LeSabre wires are reversed. These ends are supposed to go on the coils, and then these ends go on the spark plugs, but I cut the straight boots off, stuck them down in the distributor cap, and then put the 90 degrees on the other end. And since The Le Mans is still points, Pertronics points style. Those wires fit right on there. So let's see, with better spark, if we can get this sucker to fire up now. It's only been like 3 or 4 days of just trying and trying and trying. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, dude! Can you give it a little more timing? Oh my god! Okay, even more timing, and the fuel ball is full. Yes! Yes! Oh my god! Yeah! Oh my god. That is absolutely incredible. She runs, she starts, and even sounds like it's going to idle a little bit. So, cool. That is a running car. And yes, it has an exhaust leak, but awesome. Okay. I need to get more of a permanent fuel thing set up, and yeah, okay, more work to do. Cool. And then we had a conversation about old school fuel pumps and sediment bowls. So this is a sediment bowl that was before the fuel pump on the Buick. Yeah. Looks like it's doing its job, thank goodness. But if that's what's in the tank, that's not a good thing. Yeah, at least we got this thing going. Okay, now that it's running, I took the fuel pump off last night, tore that apart, and did kind of a quick rebuild on that. All the diaphragms and everything seem to be in good shape. There's no holes and they're still very flexible, so I just cleaned everything up, put it back together, and kind of lubed the check valves and things in there. Getting the front of motor put back on, thermostat housing is on, and then I needed a new fan belt because I don't know, something tells me that the original one just wasn't going to cut it anymore. Well, it's the ongoing saga of which belt is actually going to fit this. So hopefully second time's the charm. When I got this thing, this belt came with it. It's a 51 7/8, and this one's 29/32 wide, but it's too wide actually. Oh my God, getting bombed by acorns. So that one's too long. So the last belt I got from Napa was 25/32, which is this width, and it was 46 and I think 46 7/8 inches long, which was too short. I couldn't even get it around the water pump and the crank. It was just too short to do that. This one's 49 7/8, and these ones they had to order from another store, and then this one's 50 7/8, which this one's only 1 inch shorter than this one, so I think this one's still going to be too long. So I'm going to go with the 49 7/8 first and see if that works. Alright, there we go. Installed, looking good. There's the part number, and there's the dimensions right there. Like I said, it could actually go about 1 inch shorter, but I think that'll work fine for now. It's tight. Yeah, it's right at the end of the adjustment, but it'll work. I was able to go to AutoZone and pick up an air filter for it. This is, I think, a 6.5 inch off of a custom Mr. Gasket set, and the guy sold me just the filter element out of there and just replaced that because the whole assembly I think was like 40 bucks, so I got that for like 11, because they don't have one on their shelves anymore because heaven forbid you got just a regular round air filter. Everybody has the square ones nowadays. Well, the inevitable had to happen. You always got to pull the fuel tank. if that's any kind of indication, the float is completely seized. It won't move at all. So the inside of the tank, obviously. Yep. See that cruddy junk down in there? Yeah, that's pretty much what the whole inside looks like. I'm going to try rinsing it out, shaking it around, see if I can break that stuff up, because I mean it looks solid from the outside. Yeah, ground out the rivets, take the sending unit apart, because why would I have just the metal tabs when you can take rivets out? And yeah, it's pretty destroyed. So this is just going to go back together, not working, basically until I can get a working sending unit. Oh, and that's packed full of dirt. I just noticed that. So that wouldn't have picked up fuel anywho. Okay, well, let me go blow through the lines and I guess slam this back together. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to put it back together. I'm just going to plug it all up, forget the sending unit and the float, because it doesn't really going to do anything anyway. At least it'll send fuel up. Okay, let's see if 90 psi is enough to blow this turd out of here. Well, yeah, didn't do too bad. Well, the fuel tank is kind of cruddy inside, so I'm going to go ahead and rig it up to the old fuel tank scrubber 2000. And why is it a 2000? Because it's a 2000 Silverado. So go ahead and please, my beautiful assistant, add the abrasives. Nice.
Oh.
Cover up the hole.
Lucky me.
I know, right? Now it sounds like a lot of that stuff in there is already kind of loose. So this will just add to it. Now, the cool thing about this is these Toyota rims that I put on here have a nice little lip that hook hooks right into.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
It'll be fine. Okay, are we ready?
Let's hope that holds.
Okay. I'm gonna have to hold the brake or this thing's gonna spin real quick. Okay.
Smells fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Yummy. Let's see. Look at that. Yes. That is much better. Obviously still some rust staining, but it is extremely clean compared to what it was before. I'm going to stick a vacuum down in there, get the last couple little bits of crud that don't want to fall out the hole, and I think she'll be good to go. So I'll slap that tank back in there, throw some gas in it even, and see if we can get this sucker to light up and maybe even idle for a couple minutes. Alright, I need a gasket for my fuel sending unit, so in that situation you find out something that's about the same diameter, which is my old school oil can, and you cut it out. Here we go. All right. The sending unit actually works, but I'll hook the wire back up just so it's not dangling in the breeze as this thing's flying down the road at a $1.50. I swear those acorns are chipping my windshield, messing up my paint job. I don't know, what do y'all think? Think it's possible for acorns to chip a windshield? Let y'all put it down in the comments, let me know. Well, it's a good thing I remembered to blow out that fuel line, because that's what was in it. Ugh. Now I can install the tank. Something like that, maybe. It's gotta go to the right a little bit. There we go. Nice. See how easy that is? So this beast holds 8 quarts of oil. Think of what the dipstick says. If it's low, you gotta add 3 quarts. Okay, here we are. Can't believe we're to this point. Guess I'll just start off with a little bit of fuel at first. Make sure it don't leak. Fortunately, I can't have the door open today because it's torrential downpours and like hurricane weather. Okay, let me stop it there. Make sure nothing's leaking. Okay, so far so good. All right. I want to get the fuel line primed up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of a siphon going using a vacuum. Here we go. Works like a champ. Okay, that should have got my fuel line primed up. Still a little yucky coming through there, but it's relatively gas smelling and gas clean and gas colored. Come on. There we go. Get that line started back on there. Oops, I'm gonna kick you. Or actually, let's see if I can get this thing to pull fuel up to the carburetor now. Forgot. Now I got a fan in there. It's going to pull my cardboard off my radiator. You know what's better than leaving my wrench in there like I did last time? Okay, well, awesome. So that works too. Nice. spark off again. Great oil pressure. See that? Okay. Oh. All right. Well, let her cool down. Burn off all the junk. I didn't want to get her too hot because she doesn't have any water, so just let her run for a couple minutes. But man, that is incredible. Idling really good. Man, it sounds fantastic. What to do next? Let her cool down a little bit. Oh, I didn't even check to see if the battery was charging. I should have done that. But for initially, that's really awesome. Yep. Cool. I didn't see any fuel moving in the bowl, but obviously it didn't run that long off of just, you know, a little bit of fuel that was in the carburetor bowl. So I think it's pulling fuel through the tank. But if I can pull it outside, I can put some water to it because I want to flush out the cooling system before I pump all that garbage that was in the block into the radiator. All right. Got everything kind of capped off, got some water in it. Let's see. Let me put a chalk in front of it because I don't want it to go too far. Let's see if it'll actually move under its own power. I think it has brakes. It doesn't really have a return spring on the carburetor, so let me figure out something for that so I don't go whiskey throttling through the Miata. Okay, try this again. I just lubed everything up. Seems to have a little more snap back to its original position. Oh yeah, boys and girls, she will definitely move under her own power. I don't know if I was rolling up against the flat spots in the tires or if I actually hit the bump stop there. Let's see. Well, I think I'm going to leave off right here. So, very good progress over the last couple weeks. Let's see, I had to take the generator in to get that rebuilt, and I got the water pump out, so that can be repaired. That's pretty much all it needs to be running on the road, I guess. With that, I want to thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Good luck with your projects, and God bless. What you got this time, girl? Wonder what that guy's hooked into.
Another one.
Nice. There you go. Look at them spots. Good job.